Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Game Time YouTube channel. My name is Joe, and I am your host. K-State sports drama, y'all. Let's talk about it. All right. Two things I want to talk about. Let's talk about Naequan Tomlin getting kicked off the team. Let's talk a little bit about Collin Klein, offensive coordinator, taking the Texas A&M job. All right. Naequan Tomlin. Okay. This is an interesting situation, and here's my opinion on it. Okay, so we thought, he was going to be able to come back. I think that's the big issue here. Okay, he gets in the fight end of October in Aggieville, gets suspended from the team indefinitely. I think up to now, it really looked like he was on the trajectory to make a comeback eventually to the team. He gets his diversion accepted, so he's working through his diversion program. Hey, that means these charges are going to get dropped, okay, if he's able to complete that successfully, and, which means he could potentially come back to the team. So that's, I think, the issue. If we saw from the beginning that he was gone because of this, I don't think there would be any argument. All right. He got in a fight. He got kicked off the team, and that's it. But because we've seen some progression of him potentially being able to come back to the team, now I think everybody's a little upset because something seems to have apparently changed very recently in the last couple days that has led to this decision being made. So we're missing some information. I think that's the problem. Okay. So, these types of decisions, it's really hard. They're very subjective. These players are public figures. So many things that they do that could potentially hurt the brand, it doesn't necessarily have to be something serious, okay, quote unquote. And this is serious because he got in a fight and he got arrested. But many times it's a code of conduct here. You have to conduct yourself in a certain way because you're a public figure. And those types of things can get you, quote unquote, fired. Okay. In this case, kicked off the team. So, was this enough as far as what he did to get him kicked off the team? Probably so. Right. I mean, maybe. Okay. He got arrested. So I think the problem here is there maybe wasn't clarity on how severe it was. And at this point, I don't think there's clarity on what new development has occurred to, at this point, simply remove him from the team. I think that's the real problem. If you look at Gene Taylor's statement about his dismissal from the team, he mentions that, hey, a lot of what you hear on social media about this issue is incorrect. He also mentioned that while, not in these words, but while he wanted to be able to tell everyone about, the details of what's gone into this decision, there are legal reasons why he can't. So to me, that's saying, okay, there's more information here that we don't have that he can't tell us. Okay. Did Naequan Tomlin do something else? Is there another legal issue here that we're not aware of? Okay. Is there something that he's done to potentially, ruin his or get him kicked out of diversion? Could be. We don't know for sure. But, I think we're upset, but I'm kind of waiting on more information to come out before I really, feel like that this is wrong, so to speak. I feel like I don't know enough yet to make that determination. To me, and so we're also hearing about, rumor, not really rumors, but we're hearing, I think people are afraid that Jerome Tang could potentially leave K-State because of this situation. He's a really good coach. He's got other opportunities at other, Power 5 conference schools. And hey, things like this can rattle a coach. It can make him feel like maybe I don't know. He may not like it. All right, just at looking at how the decision was made. Okay, because it appears that it was made from the top down, and it may not have been made by Coach Tang, or maybe he didn't have any say in how it played out. But if you listen to Coach Tang carefully, you notice that he's very adamant about players being accountable. He's very serious about that. Even when you look at Will McNair he did something a couple of games ago, and he wasn't allowed to play. Jerome Tang set him out of that game because and we don't even know what he did. But if you listen to the press conference, Jerome Tang mentioned, hey, you guys would think I'm crazy for some of the things that I disciplined these guys for. But to him, it was important that these guys learned life lessons, not necessarily, let them play to win games. These are life lessons that he's trying to teach these kids. So it's clear that Jerome Tang that's something that's very important to him. He also mentioned that he was treating this Naequan Tomlin situation like a season-ending injury. He literally said those words. So to me, that's saying, all right, he's kind of expecting Naequan to be out for the season. Almost sounds like he didn't expect Naequan Tomlin to be back. Okay. Another case in one of the press conferences, somebody had asked him about Naequan Tomlin, as they always did, after the situation came up. And he responded by saying, we don't know if he's coming back. He literally said that. We don't know if he's coming back. So it sounds to me that Jerome Tang was already prepared for Naequan Tomlin not coming back. Now, I don't know if he knew that directly or if maybe those discussions had already been had, or if it was just something within himself and he just felt like, hey, this guy got arrested, he got charged, for fighting. This is something that can get him kicked off the team, and I think Jerome Tang understood that. So now the fact that he's been kicked off the team, I'd really be surprised if Jerome Tang left K-State because of this situation. Now, granted, I don't know why they would have had Naequan Tomlin with the team up to this point if it was going to lead to him getting kicked off the team. That's a little strange. Maybe that's something that Tang might have a problem with. Maybe some of the higher-ups led him to believe that Naequan would potentially come back, but then made a call later that, threw that out the window and said, hey, he's not. That could be frustrating. But all indications to me show that Jerome Tang at least felt like there was a solid chance that Naequan Tomlin would not be coming back to the team. Seems like he knew that. So to have him leave because of this, I don't know if I'm buying that just yet. Now, keep in mind, there's probably still more information that needs to come out, and because of that, I could be wrong on that. But I don't see him leaving the team because of this. He's got a lot of other players there. I think he's really bought in to the fan base here. I think he wants to stick around for a while. I don't see this situation causing him to leave and go to another job. Some folks are mentioning the situation with former coach Frank Martin, where he ended up leaving. And I think it was something similar where one of the players was not allowed to play, and it was for some reason that I don't think Frank Martin had been, I don't think it had been discussed with him. He didn't have a say in it. And, that kind of upset him. And, did he leave for that reason? Who knows? But I think the K-State fan base, we get a little fearful because we know there's a lot of money out there for these coaches. And when we get a good coach, we want to be able to keep a hold to him, and we want to make sure that the environment doesn't cause that coach to want to leave. We want to have, okay, hey, we're not as big of a market, but if we can boast the fact that we have a very strong fan base and that, our leadership structure is strong and the coach, will have a good experience coaching this team, and they'll be able to have at least a say in how the team is built and to be able to do their jobs. That's something that we want to be able to have. We don't want to have a bad work environment for a coach on top of having a smaller market. Okay. We're going to have a hard time keeping good coaches. Hence, we're going to have a hard time putting together really good sports teams. So that's my take on Naequan. Best of luck to him if this plays out such that he can't return to the team. He's a really good player. Just really fell on, a bad situation. It's really hard. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. Wrong place, wrong time. Bad choices. Maybe he had an opportunity to walk away and didn't. Maybe he didn't have an opportunity. Who knows? These situations happen, and you just have to deal with them as they come. So Collin Klein, offensive coordinator, leaves for Texas A&M. Takes the Texas A&M offensive coordinator job. I saw this coming, y'all. I don't know why people are so surprised by this. It was obvious to me that this was going to happen. Look, the man had an opportunity to go to Notre Dame last year and turned it down. Clearly, if Notre Dame's coming, other teams are putting offers out to him, feelers at least, checking to see if he's open to leave. So he's been super successful, so he's got opportunities. This is the way the coaching game works. He was not going to stick around for that long. You have to keep that in mind. I mean, young guy, this is his career, okay? So he has to do what's best for his career. I think he stuck around last year, this past year, honestly, because quite frankly, we had an opportunity to compete for a national championship. I think he saw that. I think he saw returning quarterback Will Howard coming back. I think he saw a very strong offensive line coming back. And I think he saw the opportunity to win 10 plus games, potentially win the Big 12 2 years in a row, and possibly compete in the college football playoff. I think he saw that opportunity. So that's what kept him here. But if it weren't for that, I think he would have left last year. Now you look at this year, we've got some movement in the transfer portal. So we're losing a lot. We're going to have to reload a bit. We've got a brand new quarterback, although talent-wise, we think he's, a really, really good talent, but he's new. So there's somewhat of a reload. So with that, what incentive does Collin Klein have to stay? There isn't one. He's got to go with his career and what's best for his career. It was obvious to me that he would leave. Possibly he could have stayed this year to coach Avery Johnson. That was a possibility, but the only way that would have happened is if he just didn't get any really good offers from other schools. And, because of the level that he's been, working with as an offensive coordinator, he's really been operating at a high level. Because of that, he was going to get opportunities coming through the window, and he did. And Texas A&M, apparently they've got a lot of money. They're a very, very big market out there in Texas, and they can pay him nice. They're in the SEC. He's on a larger stage. It's a career move, guys. I mean, and it's an obvious one. So I don't know. I really was not surprised by it. I honestly thought we might get 1 year more out of him, but honestly, I was waiting. I had a feeling when they started talking about Penn State and A&M talking to him. I had a feeling, and then when the Penn State one didn't go, that they picked up the KU offensive coordinator. I thought, ooh, Texas A&M, they might get him. That's a really big market down there. They've got a lot of booster money. They've got a lot of money. They're, they were probably in a good position to offer him a nice package. He took it. So again, I knew this was coming. It really didn't surprise me. The challenge really is going to be to get another good offensive coordinator in here to work with Avery Johnson. This new person's going to have to be able to run the type of offense that works well with Avery Johnson. So that decision, has to be made in that way, I think. And it probably will. There's a search, a coaching search that has begun, and we'll kind of see how that goes. I think somewhat of an issue here is we've had a lot of guys transfer out, and so we're going to have to get into that transfer portal and get more players. So it's really important that we get another offensive coordinator in there really quickly so that they can fill some of those other spaces with the types of players that they want, that's going to work well in the offense that they're going to want to put together. So that's going to be kind of important. So, we'll keep an eye on things. Here, hopefully very, very soon, we need to start hearing some names of guys that are potential replacements. And if we can get that hire done quickly, that's going to work well in K-State's favor. So we can start kind of rebuilding that offense. So we'll see how that goes. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening. That's all I got for today.